I needed glam. I needed a glam team. If you didn't want me to have your glam, you should have given me your glam because I look better than you anyways. I needed glam. I didn't have a glam team. I'm supposedly rich and paid. Of course the girls are throwing shade, but I didn't have a glam squad. I needed yours. I looked better than they said I looked better than you. I needed glam. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is TammyTalks. We're here to talk the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode 16, Chicken and Waffles. This could have been titled anything but that. Literally anything but that. But if you guys are brand new to the channel or a returning viewer that has been here all season and has not yet subscribed to the channel, please do me a favor. I am less than 500 subs away from 40,000. So if you have been here all season and you have not yet subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button, thumbs up the video, and then I'll catch you guys down in the comment section as always. This episode just really solidified why Britt has issues with friendships. Okay? It does. Like, everything about the way that Britt moved in this episode was vindictive. It was cheap. It was childish. And it shows why you were a coward that didn't show up to the reunion. This was crazy. So it starts off with Shamia. She is finally out of her overly monochromed designs, and she is in a matching little outfit that looked like scrubs, but she's matching her daughters, and they're at the doctor's office. Why don't her husband ever come? I know he was there when what's her name? Shyla, when the oldest daughter got her tonsils out. But like the way that he be calling Shamia, talking about some this, that, and the other, when it comes to the health of the baby, I would think that you would have done everything possible to be at that doctor's appointment. That is just me. Okay. So Shamia has she let the doctor know that she got strep throat when she got back in town. It was all that driving the boat y'all was doing with them bottles, okay? So she's worried that she's going to get her daughter sick, and, you know, the baby has a compromised immune system and all of that type of stuff. So she has her husband on FaceTime, and they're both saying that the baby has been, they're saying noisy. I'm assuming that was in regards to her breathing. I thought that was an interesting way to put it. But Shamia is telling us in the confessional how draining it is, and how draining it has been the past year with all of Shiloh's health complications. But she still wants to give her husband a son. He wants another baby, even though this past year has been taxing. And here I am at the doctor's office by myself. And after I have done all these other things, I still want to give him a son. So we find out that they did use the surrogate, that they did do the transfer, but it was unsuccessful. And so they are back to square one. But they have decided that they're going to fall back and wait a little bit before, you know, trying again. So we then see Phaedra. Phaedra's sons, Dylan and Dylan and Aiden are now into fashion, and they're making clothes. So we find out in Phaedra's confessional that nothing has really changed with her. Still a mortician. She says she is now a Reiki healer. And she said that she was doing something else. And I was like, okay, Phaedra. But Dylan wants to get a warehouse so he can get his orders together. Remember, Mr. President. So this all started, his passion for fashion, if you will, started when he wanted a pair of bell bottoms. And they didn't have any in his size that Phaedra could find. So she said, look, why don't I get you a sewing machine and you can make your own? And so that's what he did. So Aiden, the older son, said he is his manager. I'm going to need 10% off top. But it was cute to see how supportive both Phaedra and Aiden are of Dylan. And Dylan's little pants were cute. Phaedra was like, so you going to make me a pair? And he was like, no. No. So Phaedra lets him know that she is having a black glove event at, I guess, the vault at the Ivy. I thought they were back at that damn the bank, and I was gonna say, is that the only location? But the vote at the Ivy situation, um, which I guess is a like a clothing exposition type of place. That's what I'm gonna call it. And she said that when she has this so that they can come and shop and stuff, Dylan can showcase some of his fashions. And she's like, will you have your stuff ready? And he would say, ain't nothing but a word, okay? So we see Kelli. It's the day of her divorce, and we see Kelli the day of her divorce hearing, supposedly the final court date. But we see Kelli walking down this long alley, and I'm like, do we really need to see you walk to get to the car like that? But she comes out, and it's 4 hours later, and she was like, well, that was the shit show. So apparently the divorce was not finalized. They went over the allotted time. The judge gave them until noon, and now they have to have a continuance. And then we find out that her ex-husband went to jail over child support. Girl, you ain't gonna never get divorced. Is she divorced now? Do y'all know? Like today, present day was today, June 23rd. Is she divorced? So Shamia comes over, and Kelli lets Shamia know that not only am I not divorced, but this nigga went to jail. So Angela calls Kelli to check on her. She appreciates that. Angela did sound sincere with it. I'll give her that. And Shamia asks Kelli if she has talked to Britt. And Kelly's like, no, I haven't talked to Britt since Grenada. And she was like, what? Grenada? Kelli is like, yeah, everybody knew that I was going to court today. So she feels that she has been there, tried and true with Britt through the entire Kenya situation, bringing over the mobile IV and all that type of stuff. And she feels that Britt has not been there for her in return. Now, let me pause here. Kelli, truth be told, the way that you kind of went against Britt and tried to embarrass her and tried to sun her about her donations in public in Grenada, that wasn't cool. That wasn't cool. So, I mean, let's think about it. Maybe Britt feels a little bit of a way about that. However, if I'm supposed to be your friend and we've been rocking and rolling for a while, and I know that you were going through this terrible divorce, and I know that today is supposed to be the day that your divorce is finalized, I'm going to call you, or at the very least send a text message. But we know Britt does not know how to be a friend. She's a fucked up individual, okay? So Kelli is one of the brand partners at Williams Sonoma, and she has been doing these little like cooking classes, I guess. So she invited Angela, Drew, and Phaedra to come. I guess she feels that those ladies have been the most supportive, or they would enjoy it the most. I don't know. But those are the only three she invited. So we find out that Charles is going to be, I guess, competing very loosely, but he's going to be cooking alongside Kelli, and they're going to be making waffles with banana Foster's topping on top of it. So Angela introduces Phaedra to Charles. Phaedra said, I know him. And it was a cute little moment, but that's it. So then we see Kelli and Charles are competing in this waffle challenge, and it looked good. Everybody, they were like, it's a tie. You know, Angela's gonna say that her man's was the best, but they were saying that like everybody's stuff was good. So Phaedra, Drew, and Angela are all shocked and befuddled. Their flabbergasted that Kelli has not talked to Britt since Grenada. And the ladies were like, what do you mean you haven't talked to her? And Kelli's like, I haven't talked to her. So while they're sitting there eating, a man walks up to Angela and says, I want to talk to you off camera. What? Don't come on camera and say you need to talk to me off camera. So now Angela's heart is beating, because as was mine. Girl, what is happening? What's happening? So he's like, I know something about your husband that I need you to know. Let's talk off camera. Look, sir, no. No, because if you really wanted to talk to her off camera, you would have waited until the cameras were down. You would have maybe hung around. You would have tried to talk to her over in the corner. You wouldn't have come and did it while they were actively filming. Like, what are you on right now? So everybody's giving the toast over to the side, And his toast was, if your name is Angela, your husband's cheating on you, a messy queen. A messy, messy queen. Look, I don't like shit like that, sir. That was so unnecessary and catty to do. Charles was acting like he didn't hear. Charles heard what the fuck you said. He just didn't cause a scene like you wanted him to. And so the other ladies are like, do you know him? Who is that? And Angela is like, I don't know who this man is. So Kelli tells Kenny, her security, he got to go. He has to go. And then the man looked shocked. Like he didn't understand why he was being escorted out. So Kelli lets Angela know, look, I don't know that man. I don't support what happened. I don't want you and Charles or you or Charles to think that I kind of set y'all up or anything like that. Like, that's not me. And Angela was like, no, I got you. I feel you. Like, you're good. Okay. You're good. Meanwhile, while they are at this event over at Britt's house, she has invited Cynthia and Portia over because she is taking Phaedra's advice of, if you want friends, you got to be one. If you want one-on-one conversations, you have to initiate them. If you want the girls to invite you to their house, you have to invite them to your house. Like, it's reciprocal. That's how things work. So Britt lets them know that Kelli told her, Glam Squad, that she doesn't want them to work with her anymore. And she said that Kelli feels like she's getting the short end of the stick. We pan over to the confessional. Kelli confirmed, yeah, I told them not to work with her anymore. She thinks it's weird that Britt wants to have her glam squad, her videographer, her photographer. Like, why do you want my entire shebang? Truth be told, I think that's weird too. But at the same token, Kelli, you should have never offered them to her. You should have never offered them to her. If you felt that Britt needed a glam squad, help her find one. But you should have never offered your people to her in that capacity from jump, okay? So she said that for Britt, it's giving that you really not that girl like you say you are. You're not really popping your shit like you claim. So Portia is like, look, first rules of being freaking frack. And Cynthia was like, which one are you? Portia said both. But she was like, the first rule is you can't be jealous. There can't be jealousy between the two of y'all. So Britt was like, well, Kelli's stylist is now working with Shamia. And I said, thank you, God. Because if it's one thing that we need is for Shamia to stop being a walking billboard with her outfits. So I hope this pans out for her. God have mercy. I hope it does. So Britt then was like, yeah, they're doing like styling sessions with her. And Portia was like, oh, okay. So Britt then said, look, I mean, I just heard a little bit of some chit chat from Shamia, and I mean, she's not really being a friend to you because she showed me some of you guys' text messages between the two of you. And I'm thinking, why are you doing this, Britt? One, Shamia, that's lame. But two, why are you doing this, Britt? What is your purpose in throwing Shamia under the bus right now? Because you can't use the glam squad? Like this, to me, this doesn't make sense. Why did you even bring this up? So Portia said in her confessional that Shamia is showing text messages of what her therapist was telling her is crossing the line, and I think it is as well. Shamia, I hope. No, not Angela, what's her name? Britt said that it was messages between her attorney. Portia knows exactly what text messages she sent. She said they were with her therapist. And I'm like, I think that shit is lame. That's corny. That's corny, Shamia. So she then tells Britt, Portia, do what's best for you. So Portia gets a phone call because Phaedra couldn't wait to get her ass outside. And she lets them know what happened with Angela and Charles at the event. And everybody was like, oh my God. So Portia calls Phaedra the day of the event to let her know she won't be making it. Londi has suddenly passed away and, she's going to go be with family. So rest in peace to Londi. That's unfortunate. And Londi was young. Londi was young, too young to pass away like that. So rest in peace to her. So it's time for the event, okay? Angela is saying that she might need some security now because of that man that approached her. Britt comes in and speaks to Kelli. Kelli does not speak to her. Hi, Kelli. Hi, Kelli. I want people to start having some shame. If I come in and I speak to you and you don't speak back to me, I'm not going to repeat it over and over again. And I'm not going to get louder with it because it's giving you're pressed. If you speak to somebody and they don't speak back to you, leave it alone. Leave it alone. So Britt is in her or excuse me, Kelli is in her confessional saying Britt is not her friend since she has not checked on her since the court hearing. You're not my friend because you haven't checked on me since the court hearing. So Britt is saying that Kelli is a hater because she didn't come and confide in her about the glam squad. If you have an issue, so Britt believes that Kelli is a hater because she didn't come to her and confide in her about the glam squad and not wanting to work with the glam squad. And I'm like, to me, this just doesn't make sense. Like, you about to crash out because she doesn't want you to use her glam squad anymore. If she don't want you to use them, she don't want you to use them. Like, I don't understand why this is such a big deal, right? So Phaedra is telling everybody she's about to lock the doors and if you're not there, then you just won't be there. She's like, I knew that Drew would be late, but Drew needs to get her eagle on and come on. And they're like, Portia's not here. Portia's not going to come. I'll let you guys know later. So Angela is like, getting back to what we were talking about though, we did our research and we found out who the man was that came up to me at the event. Found out that he was paid to do it by another gentleman. So it wasn't any of the ladies here directly, right? So Kelli is like, well, maybe it was part of the other group that wasn't at the event. And Britt was like, well, they were at my house. We didn't have anything to do with that. So we see Drew. Drew is late. Drew's outside, and she has to wait because Phaedra has indeed locked the door. So she sent a picture to Phaedra showing how bad the traffic was. Drew, you were just late, girl, because everybody else made it on time. So Kelli was responding to Britt, and it's like, she let people, or responding to the fact Britt is here, she's not talking to her, and it's like, oh, she let people in her house, and Britt was like, you can say it to me, it's not that hard. Again, Britt, you're antagonizing her, and for what? For what? Like, I don't understand why Britt crashes out like this. First, it was over a hug. Then it was over Angela with the hug. Now it's over, like, it's not that deep. You're going to have to learn how to not let stuff get so underneath your skin. She didn't speak to you. Pay her ass dust the rest of the time. So Britt said that Kelli is being passive aggressive. Kelli said, no, I am aggressive. Britt would say, well, I've never seen you be aggressive. Kelli, don't play with me, Britt. Don't play with me, Britt. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that, okay? You're just doing this because you want an audience. You're insecure and you want an audience. I'm insecure. You begged to use my you begged to use my glam squad. No, you begged me to use your glam. You begged me to use your glam. Phaedra, you better get your roommate, get your pill popping roommate. I said, oh, no, Kelli. So then in the confessional, everybody is like, oh my God, like, what is she popping? I was Cynthia. Now, what type of pills? What type of pills are you popping? So Britt then gets back activated. Well, we can talk about the abortions you had when you were married. We can talk about that. You can't even have a kid. You could never be me. You could never be me. Nobody wants to be you, you little hobbit. Look. If Kelli was exercising her womanly right, her body, her choice, while she was married, that is none of your business, Britt. And that's how you know that y'all ain't really friends. Kelli too, because why you have to bring up the pill popping. But it's like, what are y'all doing? Britt, once again, you antagonized this whole situation. Now she's a habit. Now nobody wants to be you, but you were using her glam squad. Let Kelli tell it that Britt was like trying to copy her looks and all that type of stuff. I mean, truth be told, both of y'all be looking a mess, okay? But whatever. So Shamia tells Britt, you're doing too much. The same way that you felt when it came with the Kenya situation is basically this. So Britt is like, well, if you're gonna dish it, you should be able to take it. The call is coming from inside the house. Britt, you can never take it when anybody says anything back to you. Girl, get all the fucks. I am so sick of this weird ass heifer. This is why she won't be back. A one and done. A one and done. You won't be back. That's why you didn't show up to the reunion, because you didn't want to be held accountable for a lot of the stupid shit that you said and did. For you to honestly say if you are going to dish it, you should be able to take it, when you were the same bitch that on the first episode went around and told everybody, you're getting a divorce, you're getting a divorce, you're getting a divorce. And when Kenya asked, was this your second marriage, you were ready to slide down the fucking wall. You can't take it. You can't take it. Oh, I'm so sick of this lady. I am so glad that after next week, the finale, I don't have to talk about this heifer ever again. So then Kelli is screaming, get me the fuck out of here. Go on to your seat, Kelli. We got to film. We got to see the film. Go on to your seat. So Kelli then said in her confessional, she got her tubes tied after the twins. So even if she wanted to have kids, she could not. So is Britt lying? So Britt, are you lying? So we finally get the fashion show to start. They got Drew outside knocking. Drew trying to get in. Drew just wait. She outside eating chicken with the officers. Lord. So Dylan comes out and he models his pants. And then Aiden was like, in case y'all didn't know, pre-orders are available right now. Here's the website. And that was the fashion show. It was cute. The ladies are buying stuff afterwards. And while everybody is like shopping, Shamia pulls Britt to the side and said, why you couldn't just call or text Kelli, knowing how hard this divorce has been on her? Britt said that she can't be fake, okay? She said that she can be a liar, but she can't be fake. She said Kelli is supposed to be her girl, but she's going around talking shit about her. Now, that is true. That is true. However, if you really felt that Kelli was going around and talking shit about you, and you are the bitch that you claim you are, why didn't you just confront Kelli privately? Why didn't you just confront Kelli about that? Why would you come and do all of this? You've been running around talking shit about her too. What's the difference? So she then said that she cannot support someone that's hating on her, and that's just her being a real ass bitch. I feel like isn't saying that I'm a real ass bitch just as childish as shot o'clock? Isn't that what college girls do? I guess, Britt. So Phaedra gathers everyone around to let them know that the reason that Portia did not come is because Londi has passed away and Portia is being with her family. Shamia clearly did not know, so she gets emotional, and Phaedra gives one of them Tyler Perry speeches on the family. We got to come together. We got to come. And it's like, y'all will be fighting next episode. And that was how the episode went off. It's just like, I feel like Britt just goes from bad to worse to worser. Like, I understand why you didn't come to the reunion. You should be embarrassed by yourself. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. If you have not already subscribed, we're super close to 40K. Leave your comments down below, like the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.